Shalom, brothers. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and double honors to the elders, Great Millstone, of course, and honors to the elect pushing the truth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai worldwide. Today's lesson is on the history of scalping. All right, and this is really postponed due to Satan, but I finally got together documents and research, and the Spirit led me to do this lesson. So without further ado, I'm going to show you. It also really started from an Edomite a couple months back in the spring. He came up and he was talking about the scalping. The Gadites, they started, and Esau portrays the Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans as all culprits and criminals and convicts. So I'm going to try to show some information and shed some light on the matter. All right, so I'm going to show the video where it all started from, right? So.
Okay. Okay, now it's my turn. I get accidents. No, wait a minute. You had 3 readings. Now it's my turn, okay? You don't have a turn. 3 readings. You don't have a turn. Why not? Am I not a person? Don't I have a right to talk like you guys do? Oh, come on.
You're speaking out of your heart. You're not speaking important. We speak according to the Bible.
Is my heart important?
Your heart's your mind.
Bring it up. Exodus
4 and 6.
Listen, the Bible is...
And the Lord said furthermore to him.
I don't give a shit what the Bible says, okay? It's ancient crap.
You're an Edomite.
I'm not an Elamite. I live in the 21st century, and the science, and medicine, and philosophy, and education.
That's the devil, man.
I'm no devil. There is no such thing as a devil. Any more than the Iraqis is the devil.
Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day.
What are you guys trying to prove here?
You know, at the end of the day, I knew this asshole, he was an atheist.
Is that what you...
That's right, because whose land are you on? Whose land are you on, man? Whose land is this standing on? Whose land is this one? Yeah, that's right, I am. So whose land are you on? Where do your ancestors go back to? Where do your ancestors go back to?
I don't have any problem with the concept that this man belongs to the First Nation.
Yeah, but you know what? It don't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't believe in the scriptures. Your ass is still going into slavery. Because your ass is going into slavery.
Slavery?
Yeah, slavery, captivity. Because the scripture says, he that goes...
After I die and I go to hell, is that what you mean?
No, first of all, there's no hell.
Well, when am I going to slavery?
There's no such thing as hell. Okay? You have to pay for the sins of your forefathers. That's according to the scriptures. There's a balance of things. If you lead people into slavery, you're going back into slavery. There's a balance of things, man.
What about when Native Americans got revelation torture?
Because that's retribution. First of all, if you hold on. If you know any history, if you know any history, the scalping came from the white man. The scalping came from the white man to prove that he killed Native Americans, and he got $5 for a male scalp, and he got $2 for a female scalp. Dumbass.
When Champlain came in 1608, the Indians were torturing each other. They didn't take slaves or captives. They captured the other people so they could torture them.
The fool have said in his heart.
Don't touch him. 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 Do not touch him.
I'm not touching him.
You did.
Have said in his heart. There is no God.
Didn't he say, doesn't my heart count? That's what he's saying. My heart counts. So you're a fool, man. All right, you're a damn fool. Because
Psalm 13 and 1.
Because I don't think the same way you do.
No. Because you're an Edomite. You're an Edomite. You don't know what that means. I know you don't know because you're a fool, man.
The fool have said in his heart, there is no God.
So what you're trying to prove is you gotta know what's going on. Nobody else does, right?
Scalping came from Native American.
They are corrupt. They have done abominable work.
What's the abominable work? Still understand. That's one abominable work. The second abominable work is taking Negroes and then...
Alright, so yeah, that was a video. And this dude's crazy. Obviously, I remember when he came up, he said, I believe in the Bible. The Spirit told me this guy's an atheist, and as the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai always, he got exposed that he's a fucking atheist, man, and he's a fucking devil. All right, because all you Edomites, all you white people, you're really atheists, man. Your mind is contrary to the scriptures, right? So I'm gonna go into this document. Alright. It's from, Wikipedia under scalping. Alright, it says scalping is the act of removing another person's scalp or a portion of their scalp, either from a dead body or from a living person. The initial purpose of scalping was to provide a trophy of battle or portable proof of a combatant's prowess in war. Eventually, the act became motivated primarily for financial reasons. People received payment per scalp they acquired. Scalping is often associated with frontier warfare in North America and was practiced by Native Americans. See, they have them first, and then they have colonists and frontiersmen across centuries of violent conflict. Some Mexican, example Sonora and Chihuahua, and American territories, example Arizona, paid bounties for enemy Native American scalps. Contrary to popular belief, scalping was far from universal amongst Native Americans. All right. It says, while scalping was used in the Pequot War, scalping did not appear in the laws. All right, in the laws of the American colonies until the mid 1760s. So these devils, they were all scalping anyway, man. They're a bunch of damn filthy ass devils, man. That's what they try to, push, that they're righteous. Colonial Wars. There were 6 colonial wars with New England and the Iroquois Confederacy fighting New France and Wabanaki Confederacy over a 75-year period, starting with King William's War in 1689. Frontier warfare, example scalping against families, was the approach to warfare used by all parties during these wars. Alright. It says Massachusetts created a scalp bounty during King William's War in July 1689. During Queen Anne's War by 1703, the Massachusetts Bay Colony was offering $60 for each native scalp. During Father Rale's War on August 8, 1722, Massachusetts put a bounty on native families. Ranger John Lovewell is known to have conducted scalp hunting expeditions, the most famous being the Battle of the Pequawket in New Hampshire. During King George's War, in response to repeated massacres of British families by the French and their native allies, Governor of Massachusetts William Shirley reluctantly issued a bounty for the scalps of Indian men, women, and children. During Father Le Loutre's War and the French and Indian War in Nova Scotia and Acadia, French colonists offered payments to Indians for British scalps. In 1749, British Governor Edward Cornwallis offered payment to New England Rangers for Indian scalps. Both the Micmac people and the British killed combatants and non-combatants, example women, children, and infants, during the French and Indian War. Governor of Nova Scotia Charles Lawrence also offered a reward for male Micmac scalps in 1756. Here's more information. During the French and Indian War in June 12, 1755, Lieutenant Governor Spencer Phipps of Massachusetts Bay Colony was offering a bounty of 40 pounds for a male Indian scalp and 20 pounds for scalps of females or of children under 12 years old. In 1756, Pennsylvania Governor Morse, in his declaration of war against the Lenni Lenape Delaware people, offered 130 pieces of 8 for the scalp of every male Indian enemy above the age of 12 years, and 50 pieces of 8 for the scalp of every Indian woman produced as evidence of their being killed. Alright, so you see these devils, man, like in the scriptures, in the curses, he shall have no pity upon your little ones, your infants. That applies to the North American Indians as well, man, because you got assholes out there saying that the Gadites and this and that aren't Native Americans and Latinos and this and that, American Revolution subtitle. In the American Revolution War, Henry Hamilton, the British Lieutenant Governor of province of Quebec, was known by American patriots as the Hair Buyer General, because they believed he encouraged and paid his Native American allies to scalp American settlers. When Hamilton was captured in the war by the colonists, he was treated as a war criminal instead of a prisoner of war because of this. However, American historians have conceded that there was no positive proof that he had ever offered rewards for scalps. It is now assumed that during the American Revolution, no British officer paid for scalps. Alright. It says, supposedly, General Custer, who was known for his hair, was not scalped after the Battle of the Little Bighorn because he was deemed filthy in the eyes of the Sioux. To lay hands on him would sully the hands of the warrior. Okay, I'm just showing you information, man. You know, you got a lot of disinformation and all that shit. You know? Let's go to some scriptures. Alright. Let's go to Psalms chapter 10. This is a good scripture. Psalms 10, 2 to 13. Alright, and it says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. Like that devil I showed you before. What did he say? The Bible is an old fairy tale, and you know, the Most High is not in his thoughts, right? So what are you assholes out there talking about the Edomites can be saved? You know, the Most High is not in their thoughts, man. You know, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Right, so I'm gonna read that again. His ways are always grievous. So everything that this devil does is grievous, man. Whether it be to the environment, whether it be the animals, whether it be the people, you know, especially Israelites. This every work, every practice he does is grievous, man. It's something that makes you grieve, man. The food that you eat, the water you consume, that's all grievous, man. You know. Thy judgments, what are the judgments? The scriptures, man. You know, 613 laws. Those are the judgments. It says thy judgments, the Most High's judgments, are far above out of his sight. So in his court systems, that's not in. If you catch a woman having sex with another man, you kill them both. That's a double homicide, man. You know, but they might have something called what do you call it? Crime, passion of crime, or something like that. You know, he did it in for passion, but they'll still lock your ass up. You know, like in that movie, Shawshank Redemption. You know, even though, you know, but yeah, I'm not gonna tell the ending if whoever didn't see it. But the point is, the dude killed the two, his wife and the dude she was fucking. You know, and he got sentenced. You know. Decades, man. So Esau doesn't have the judgments of the Most High in his court system, man. What about homosexuals? That's an abomination. He doesn't have that in his court system. That's allowed, man. You know, they have they're under the human code, man. You know, it says he puffeth. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. You know, like Iran, right, North Korea, all these nations, he puffs at them, man. I mean, he's proud against them. He thinks that they're nothing. But it says that those nations, they're gonna take away their fishing hook. You know, they're gonna bring up spears, man. They're gonna come away from their soft ways, basically, and go into military mode now. All right, and they're gonna light this devil on fire, man. You know. It says he had said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. Right, because America, you know, after it's established, 1900. You know, in the century of 1900, that was prosperity for Esau, man. Esau was lynching Jake, doing whatever the hell they wanted to. No conflicts in America. Everything was out of the country. You know, Vietnam War, the Korean War, whatever it be. Nothing hit America. World War I didn't hit America. World War II didn't. All right, but this third World War, this is what's gonna change the face of America, man. Literally. All right. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity, and that's self-explanatory. This devil, everything he says, man, you got to take it with a grain of salt, man, and then some. All right, because everything, like I'm reading right now, there's information and there's disinformation. So you must sieve it out, you know.